Welcome to Totally Talent Podcast by HR.com, your go-to source for all things talent. Whether you're looking for expert insights on high-volume hiring, the latest trends in recruitment technology, or strategies for building a winning team, we've got you covered. Join us for each episode as we dive deep into the challenges and opportunities shaping the talent landscape today. Let's get started.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Totally Talent on HR.com. I'm your host, Mike Wood, and I'm here with Joel Kirk of Blue Cross Blue Shield, Massachusetts. Hi, Joe. Welcome to the program.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So I've been on this healthcare kick, and I've been looking at, what the current state of hiring is. Can you tell me what's your number one problem right now?
Oh, wow.
in
That's
hiring?
that's a great question. I mean, I think a lot of companies right now are facing not a quantity issue, right? But a quality issue, right? We're getting tons of applicants, but it's
Yeah.
like, how do you get to the best, right? How do you find those diamonds in the rough? How do you get to them quicker and engage with them faster? And that's probably our biggest problem right now. Not a quantity issue, but it's definitely that quality piece.
Yeah, and then getting people through the process of screening and
Exactly.
verifications and stuff. So you use Phenom.
Yep.
Tell me what that whole process like. How did you? Why did you need Phenom, and how has Phenom helped you?
Lots of different reasons. Phenom was originally purchased for us to really help us with our candidate experience, right? So we started out as a career site and CRM customer. At the time when we implemented, we had a career site like everyone does, right? But we weren't getting any sort of data from it. We weren't getting really the conversion rates that we were looking for. And that's what Phenom helped us solve was just having a career site that was engaging. People when they think about their candidate experience, they're comparing it to like Netflix. They're not comparing it to another healthcare company. You know,
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
So they're used to that consumer driven type of experience, and that's what we got out of Phenom. And that was a huge lift for us to just take that experience and make it just a much more immersive experience for everybody. Then we added, with the CRM, the ability to engage, build talent communities, and actually pipeline talent. We're kind of getting more into that proactive type of recruitment model as opposed to just kind of sitting back and waiting for things to come in.
I love that you focus on candidate engagement because I think that as we're trying to, push things forward and more
Yep.
automation and stuff, that gets kind of set by the wayside. You see many people with bad experiences that will just take to LinkedIn or whatever.
Yep.
They'll damage your employer brand.
Yep.
I have gone through some random hiring assessments just to try and
Sure.
see what some of the tools are, and
Right.
I'm amazed at some of them. So, like, for example, with automation, I was like, can a chatbot really do like the entire process? And so I applied for this job at McDonald's. Like,
Sure. Yeah.
and it's
Right.
like, okay, you're gonna start on Tuesday, and I'm like, I still don't feel like this is a real thing. So, like, how do you navigate that automation and keeping the candidate experience?
Yeah. I think that's a great question. You want to be able to automate where you can. You don't automate just to automate. You automate what makes sense. Obviously, with us, we're a health insurance company, so we're very risk adverse. We're not going to automate every piece of the process. It doesn't make sense for us to, but we're going to automate where it makes sense. If that helps you keep in touch with candidates a lot easier and have more personalized communications to them, that's something that can be automated, and it takes that cognitive load and that repetitive task away from the recruiter to have to do it, right? And that's important. That allows the recruiter to then go spend their time doing more valuable stuff with, talking to the leaders, talking with candidates that are still in the loop, all of that. So it helps you automate where it makes sense to automate, but don't over automate either.
I think, so a lot of the tech that we have in our lives kind of mirrors society. And you mentioned that, candidates expect that Netflix
Yeah,
thing. They expect,
exactly.
like, I order something off at DoorDash, it shows me exactly where I am in the process and what I can
Yes, right.
expect.
The pizza tracker.
Exactly.
The Domino's
We need a
pizza
pizza tracker
And
for
I've
applications.
talked about that actually before. That's why I brought it up. I've actually said that I that type of visibility and transparency I think is important for the candidates, right? And you can give them a little bit of that, like on our career site. There's a career profile, and you can kind of see where you are in the process. But I'd like it to be even more visible. Like how visible can you make it? How transparent can you make it? I think that's a question for maybe our folks at Phenom to help us with and the like. But I I like the idea of a pizza tracker as it comes to my application. I want to know where it's at in the process,
Just
you know?
just stop me from thinking that the worst is gonna happen, or I've already lost this
Right,
job, or
right.
and if I have lost
And
the
if I
job,
have, I
tell
should
me
know.
why.
Yeah,
Let's just tell
right,
me why. Tell me, okay, we asked for these 3 things and
right.
you don't have. So I'd mentioned, and I've a lot of my listeners know this, my wife, who I will have to prove is a real person at some point, but she's a recruiter for UMass,
Yep.
out in the Boston area, and she's just constantly getting, like trying to just drive through, conversion rates and
Yeah,
stuff. And so it's a tough market out there. But I want to hear, in terms of your workforce planning,
sure.
have you like, is Phenom able to help you in terms of planning,
Yeah,
like, okay, if we are going to need more, let's say you have a bunch of people that are retiring.
yeah,
And so you need to fill that.
right.
Can you set it up in Phenom so that you can have a pipeline ready to go?
Yeah, so there is modules that Phenom offers to help with that. We haven't gotten into all of them yet. Next week, actually, we're launching our employee experience through Phenom. So, like I said, we started out with candidate experience and career site, right? So we started there, and then we are now bringing that same experience into our employees, so that now that when they're looking for roles within the company, they don't have to go to like a stagnant job board and just look through a list of things. They can actually log into our own internal
Mhm.
career site and get personalized matches based off their resume and things of that nature. So we're starting there as it pertains to like Phenom within the internal environment. There are modules though that you can do workforce planning with Phenom. Actually, I
Mhm.
just saw some of them in the keynote this morning that Mahi had. There's some really cool stuff that they have in the pipeline for all of that type of work, which really gets your HRBPs elevated and being able to have more strategic conversations that are based on real time data, not just spreadsheets here and spreadsheets there and conversations they had here and it just puts it all into a nice dashboard. So something I'm gonna probably want to explore down the road, but
It's definitely something I want to explore, even though
yeah,
I kind of focus on talent acquisition.
sure,
But so the way, things have been at like HR.com or other things, you have these like direct lanes that you're reporting on and
yeah.
whatnot, but everything's kind of blending together.
Yeah, I think the talent landscape is right. And I think that's actually something that AI is helping us do because, you know, AI isn't. It's not replacing recruiters. That's a thing that's out there right now.
Yeah.
It's going to replace. No, it's replacing tasks that recruiters didn't really want to do to begin with.
Yeah. Nobody wants to schedule
Right,
meetings.
right, right. It's getting rid of those things and allowing the talent folks to have these more strategic conversations and be much more ingrained in the business. And like to your point, things are kind of all blending together. Now a talent advisor can be a lot more in tune with the HR business partner and have conversations about workforce planning because that talent advisor isn't looking at 500 resumes, scheduling 400 people to talk to. You know what I mean? Like they're able to do things that they weren't in the past, and I think that's something that AI is helping
And
a
this will
lot of.
sound like a commercial for Phenom. I
I know.
am
Well,
drinking the Kool-Aid since I'm here,
I get it.
but I did like the keynote this morning and just the depth that they can go into on each candidate, and also potential for once you have that candidate in and they've shown interest in a certain different skills, you can develop them.
Right. Sure.
And
Yeah.
so I feel like that's a huge gap
Oh, it
that
totally is.
out there right now. Is like, yeah, we just want someone for this one skill, and then we need this
Right.
skill. Oh, we got to get rid of that person and hire another person.
Right.
There's not too much, development that's happening out there now. But I think with a lot of these like new tools and stuff, to flag for you as a talent manager that your team, you have certain nurses that are interested in this, or
Yeah.
they,
Right.
and you can find that out through internal movement too,
Sure.
or like if someone's interested in
Right.
that, now you know that they're interested in that, and they may leave for that somewhere
Right.
else if you don't give them there.
Right. And that's the thing. I mean, so one of the things we're really excited about employee experience launching is that insight that we just didn't have on our associates, right? Just that ability to really understand their desired paths, not just what we think they should do from a historical standpoint. Like a claims processor always becomes a claims processor one.
Yeah.
Always becomes but what if that claims
Who wants
processor
that for their career?
Right.
Claims processing for the
So
whole time.
it gets rid of that historical just like data and it brings in that personalized, like maybe that claims processor has that job, but is a marketing and communications person, went to school and is trying to get in, like it helps them actually see their career, the steps they need to take to get to that next role. And I think that's so valuable for retention, which once again is a talent management thing, but it also affects what we do in talent acquisition, right? If we're
Yep.
retaining people and moving people within the company more, then that also reduces some of the load on talent acquisition. They have to go and do that as much external recruiting, right? And we can focus more on what's happening inside the four walls.
And the amount of information that you have on candidates and the pre-screening tools that I saw Phenom release this morning should help with overall applicant volume on all sides. So
Right.
from candidates, I mean, I'm not going to apply to a job that 3,000 people already applied
Right.
for.
Yeah.
Probably. And that's the problem I see with LinkedIn's model right now.
Yeah,
And a lot of these
definitely
job
discourages
ads,
people.
it's all volume.
Yeah.
But what
Right.
they've done is able to say, okay, these are the types of people that have worked in the past. These are the
Right.
type of people that you should go look for. And we've already found 10 of them.
Right.
So
Right.
I'm amazed. I'm excited to see what Phenom's working on and talk to the CEO a little bit later. But
Nice.
so you've obviously been a happy customer and stuff. And do you use Phenom with, like, what's your ATS? And
yeah, so we are a Phenom and Workday shop. So yep, so we have, you know, great integration between the two to make that workflow happen.
That's great because yes, Workday from the talent acquisition side before Paradox. I don't know what they're doing right now, but before that, it was not a fun experience for candidates or anything. One final question.
Sure.
I am a Blue Cross Blue Shield member.
Okay, good.
If I run into any problems with getting a test that approved or whatever, I can just reach out to you, right? Okay, all right.
Shoot me a note, Mike.
Okay, good. Okay. Anyway, thank you for joining me on Totally Talent, and thanks, listeners, for joining us too.
Thanks.
Thanks for tuning in to the Totally Talent podcast by HR.com. We hope you find today's episode insightful and inspiring. Don't forget to explore more episodes and discover valuable resources at hr.com/podcasts, where you can listen to all of our podcasts. Until next time, keep leading with purpose and making a difference in the world of talent.